Warm greetings from the high tent. It's Everyday Shenanigans. Welcome, S. Lee R. Margaret E. Thank you all for joining me. Once again, prayers for Felicia Johnson, missing out of Houston, Texas. She is a San Diego native. Her father, Kevin Johnson, has traveled to Houston, Texas to try to find out where his daughter is. If you'd like to donate to the GoFundMe page, the link is on my community board and inside my latest video pertaining to Felicia Johnson. If you would like to donate any funds to help the father stay in Houston, Texas, while he searches for his child. As I told you all in my last live pertaining to Taylor Pomosky, that I spoke with him this morning, and he does not want to speak to anyone on YouTube because he does not trust any YouTubers to put out factual information pertaining to the disappearance of his child. He does not like the rumors and rhetoric that is surfacing on social media. It's YouTube. He felt like it was a mistake coming to YouTube. I do not know exactly who he spoke with because, as I said, it was a very brief conversation, and he was, he tried to, I guess, to be as diplomatic as he could with me when he spoke, to basically say, out of respect, I don't want to talk to anybody on YouTube. And I get that. And as I told you all in my last slide, is that everyone's entitled to his or her opinion. But when you spew things out about people saying it's the truth, not the truth, everything's perception. And once something has never been authenticated, verified, then yes, it's a rumor. And even if it has been authenticated, the rumor version, still there will be people who don't like what has been said and or offended by what has been said, if indeed authenticated. So prayers to the Johnson family. I'm praying for her safe return. I do not know what happened to Felicia, but I'm praying for Kevin and the family. I'm also praying for Miss Felicia that she is alive, and that if she has been abducted by someone or person, party, or group, they will release her, because she has friends and family who are concerned about her whereabouts and her livelihood. So we're going to pray that she is alive. And in Jesus' name, amen. And as for my last story pertaining to Miss Taylor out of Houston, her remains were confirmed as of Friday to be those that were found buried in December in Harris County. And Mr. Ware is a suspect in the disappearance and now the death of Miss Taylor. They were dating and living with one another. He's an African-American ex-football player, NFL player, who is currently incarcerated in jail on weapons and drug charges. And as you know, unfortunately, Miss Taylor is no longer alive, and her boyfriend has spoken to the news pertaining to his relationship with her and the state of her mind when he last saw her, how she looked. She did not look good, did not look well. And then one of the photos that is being released with her, she does look different. I don't know if that's just because she wasn't wearing makeup or her face seems smaller than the pictures I've seen of her on social media. But nonetheless, everything's a version. You're entitled to believe what you want pertaining to each story, but remains have been ID'd. And that means she is not alive. And that means somebody put her in that place where they found her. And I'm curious to how they got to that location to locate her. Now, on to the current story. This is a story deriving out of Rogersville, Tennessee. I'm a week late in this information because, as I've told you, I've just not wanted to really participate in talking about anything pertaining to this case on a day-to-day basis, because I really don't see the point. There's nothing new. We're in a new month, and sadly, Summer Wells has not been seen, found, recovered, anything. But I'm going to talk about two different subject matters coming out of the general area pertaining to Hawkins County, who has released a statement to the general public via Facebook pertaining to allegations of YouTubers harassing them and making nasty allegations against them and their entity. And also, I would like to talk about Boy H, because I've got information from the Q that he has returned home. And if indeed that is true, I'd like to talk about the welfare of Boy H, his state of mind. What shape is he in mentally, physically? Is this a good fit for him to be back at home with his mother, grandmother, due to the fact of all the things that have happened to him in the general past of last year up until Summer Wells going missing and then thereafter? And with the bio donors coming out to the general public, talking on YouTube, does he need to be in this household with this woman? Does he need to be engaging with the father? Because he's still a fragile person. He's a child. No matter what you think of him, no matter what you think he did or didn't do, you don't have any information to verify what happened on June 15th with Boy H, Summer Wells, and the bio mother or the bio father and the bio grandmother. And that's the point. Everything's rhetoric, rumors. Nothing has been basically authenticated pertaining to the 15th of June. Let me read you the statement pertaining to Hawkins County. I will say for the record that I did make a comment on my channel in the comment section to a commenter that perhaps they don't care about the dogs, animals up there. When this rumor came out with a YouTuber saying that a dog was dead, allegedly, blah, blah, blah. So my thing was going off of, once again, he said, she said, I made a comment to say, well, maybe they just don't care what's going on. But that's the whole point. I'm feeding off of what somebody else is saying, and I don't care for any of the stuff that these people say anyway. Let me make that clear. I don't care for the stuff that these people are saying about anything pertaining to the Summer Wells case, dogs, cats, monkeys, billy goats, 110 Ben Hill Circle, Mr. Wells, Allie, these parents. I don't care about any of these people. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care what they're talking about, because you're not going to get the truth about anything. So that's why I don't care. I don't care anything about them. The only people I'm invested in are the children. Anybody that's under the age of 18 who can't defend him or herself because they are not an adult. But as far as these other vile creatures that are grown, I don't care anything about what they're doing, what they're talking about, because it has no relevance to me, and they're street people. And after what I have dealt with in the past weekend, I definitely don't give a damn about nothing with 2 feet. And that's just how I feel right now, especially something vile, wicked, that don't care nothing about other people. And that's what I'm saying with the people involved in this case. They don't care about anybody, don't care about themselves. And as I've told somebody recently, you can't say you love a child when you don't love yourself. Because I had somebody say it to me recently. I love my son. Well, you can't love your son because you don't love yourself. How's that possible? Yeah, I'm going to keep it real. You know, I'm not feeling the best mood. Once again, I'm into week 2, not feeling well mentally or physically. So I'm going to keep it 100. I don't trust nothing right now walking with 2 feet. No machine. And I don't care nothing about a machine talking about no kid, because whenever your tongue is vile, you get wicked in your means of your feet, your hands, your tongue. You can't tell me you care about a child. You can't tell me you care about your neighbor, your mama, your sister. I don't believe that, because I'm going about how you act and how you carry yourself. Are the allegations true of any animals being neglected up there at the domain where Candace Well is dwelling by herself? There are rumors circulating she hasn't been home, this, that, and the other. Once again, I don't care about that either, because she has the free will to roam as she sees fit. If she wants to go sit on top of the moon and there's a way for her to get up there, that is Candace Bly's choice. Well, what do I care? And I don't know why some of you care. See, this is what I'm coming to see about doing all these stories about these vile creatures. They don't care about anything. And frankly, you're just giving them what they want by discussing and talking about any stupid thing pertaining to them. Whether they said it, didn't say it, innuendo, speculation, you're giving them what they want because they're sick. I don't really think a lot of you understand that. You're helping feed fuel a fire. April 22nd, Hawkins County Humane Society. Update. We want to inform our followers of a situation we have. They are several YouTubers, Bullhorn Betty, Justice for All, and Jonathan Riches, who are harassing and speaking negatively of our shelter. They're constantly harassing us and the Wells family. They are claiming that dogs on the Wells property, not at the shelter, are being starved and neglected. We have taken in 3 of this family's pets and had them spayed and adopted. They were in good health. We have been helping them with food and dog houses. Now the YouTubers are claiming that one of the dogs there starved to death and is being eaten by buzzards and flies. I'm assured that they had 7 dogs and still do. It was probably a dog that was hit, but not theirs. Please do not feed into this. You all know how much we care for animals, and we believe these animals are being cared for. We were inundated with phone calls, emails, and Facebook messages today, to the point that we were hard put to do what we had to do, exclamation point. Please believe us. If we thought that any of this was true, we would act. The sheriffs have been there many times and found no sign of abuse or neglect. They are threatening to protest us for not taking animals when we have no reason to or legal authority to do so. We are the Hawkins County Humane Society. We are not related to the Humane Society of the U.S. We are also not county-run facility. We are a 501c3, not-for-profit. We are not animal control. Thank you for supporting us. Okay, so therefore they're letting you know they're not related to the U.S. Humane Society. They're not with animal control. So that means there's two separate entities as far as animal control versus Humane Society. Now, yes, some humane societies may have a connection and be in the same building with the animal shelter. See, every county, city, jurisdiction is ran differently. This agency is telling you we are not the animal control. So therefore, we can't go legally to someone's house to take their pets away. So that means that's a separate entity. And perhaps those who are complaining about what's going on at 110 Ben Circle Way, you need to go find the animal control of Hawkins County and put your complaints there. And that is that. While I'm doing this live, please do not mention any YouTubers' names in the chat, because I do not need any rhetoric coming out of this forum, because basically I'm not here to talk about any YouTuber. I didn't build my channel on that, and I'm not about to be discussing these people day to day, what they're doing, because most of them are part of the problem alongside the people that's immersed themselves in the story that knew of Summer Wells and their bio donors. And that's what I've always said about YouTube. The chat becomes a YouTuber. The YouTuber becomes a damn problem. And that's just the way it is. They're no different than the stories we talk about the random strangers that are out here exacting crimes and staying in trouble with the law and doing a lot of foolish, heinous behavior. Some of the YouTubers, they're on the same level. And that's what a lot of you all need to understand, is that people are people. It doesn't matter about a YouTube title. That's just a title that they gave us by letting us be in cahoots in a partnership, but in the end, you're a human being before you're anything. So Hawkins County is not pleased with you all stalking them. So why are you bothering them? Why are you calling them? As I said, I did make a comment on my own channel that perhaps they didn't care when people were talking about the allegations of the dog being deceased, blah, blah, blah. That's the whole point of the story. Is that their dog that they allegedly saw not well? 2, was the dog deceased? 3, what is it your business about what's going on at 110? As I've told many of you, a lot of you are not well kept mentally. You do not know how to as we call compartmentalize life. And some of you get offended, but it's just the truth. You don't know how to stay out of stuff. Okay? You don't know how to stay out of stuff. You don't know your place in life. And I'm seeing that with a lot of people in the chat, YouTubers, people just in general. You don't know how to just look at a story, read the story, and then keep it moving. You're becoming invested into stuff that, 1, you don't even know what's really going on. 2, you're not getting factual information. 3, you don't know the people. So you're reaching out to strangers, agencies, sheriffs, TBI, tip lines, humane societies, when you don't even know what's the truth, because you're going by something somebody on the ground said is true. Now they're telling you what's going on up there don't got nothing to do with them. They took in 3 of their dogs. They adopted them out. The dogs were healthy, because that's common sense. You can't put a dog out to adopt it if it ain't well. Okay? And I ain't saying that ain't never happened, because you know anything's possible when you're dealing with a machine. But as I've told you all, this harassing of these people have got to stop. You do not have to like Donald and Candace Bly. You do not have to like the grandmother. You do not have to like the people that they were friends with, Allie, Boy H, Sherry, the grandmamas, all these different entities, people that work with Don, whoever wants to jump out of a clown car. You do not have to like any of these people. My problem with some of you is, why are you bothering these people? You don't even know what's the truth. And you feel it, you've taken it upon yourself to harass anybody that is connected to these 110. I mean, seriously, if that street could talk, it probably would tell a lot of damn dusty stories, horrible stories, if the pavement could talk. If 110, the house could talk itself, it'd probably tell a lot of craziness. But that's the point, it can't. So stop fishing for stuff. Stop making up stuff. Stop bothering these people. What do you care about these people? Digging and wanting to find anything you can find out. Why? Don't you know enough already that the people are vile? All these people are weirdo, wackos, people who don't carry themselves in a proper, dignified manner, people who don't comb their hair, don't put on decent clothes, stand in front of cameras with crazy ass people who are bored and flying down to Tennessee just to be seen and heard. I don't even understand how this is amusing to some of you, how this is entertainment to you, because in the end, it is a SHIT show. It's sad. Thank you, Tupelo. It's very, very sad. Because don't you see, these are nothing but lonely vessels. The story is about a lonely baby from appearances from the church videos. Then you factor in her brothers. Then you factor in the state of her parents. Then you factor in the state of her house outside. Then you factor in the inside. Then the people who knew of the bio people and the child. And everybody assuming they knew this and this about them. Innuendos, rhetoric, gossip about them. Don't you see? It's just a game. And some of you are willing to play the game with these people. I am not playing any games because I don't have any business in Rogersville or Kingsport. I have no reason to go bother any of the people who are affiliated with Summer Wells. I have no reason to call them or message them. I have no reason to talk to them. I have no reason to believe anything that they have to say. It is a choice if I choose to believe what I want to believe. But I do not dwell on the Summer Wells case any longer. I no longer dwell on anything that has come out of these people's mouths because I don't have that kind of time. And I'm not going to waste my life worrying about something some hillbilly said about a baby or about Pookie, Ray, Bubba. I don't have that kind of time. I deal with enough foolishness that has nothing to do with Summer Wells. Trust me. In the little short circle that I deal with, I hear foolishness every day. I see foolishness. I've had foolishness jump off this weekend. Okay? Some serious shit popped off here in Tennessee where I live pertaining to my own life. So I don't have that kind of time to indulge in this BS with these people because what I experienced early Sunday morning is of the same sickness that you're talking about with Summer Wells, and I don't want no parts of it. You want to engage in it, that is your choice, your preference, but I'm not here to exacerbate what is already a jacked up situation. If you have any respect for yourself, leave those people alone in Rogersville and Hawkins County, Kingsport. Stop bothering them. Stop harassing them. Because you don't seem to think about the other people who live around the wells, just like the shit that jumped off down in Florida with the Petito case and all that mess with the laundries. Those people didn't sign up for any of that stuff when you went down there banging on the walls and doors and grass, laundry baskets and all that kind of stuff. There are other people who pay taxes. They live in the neighborhoods. They don't give a damn about those people. They don't care anything about what you think happened to a young lady. It's not that they didn't care about the young lady. They just don't care about the neighbors. And there are people who live like that. They're not invested in the story. You may be invested, but they are not. So when you're driving your car and parking your truck and your news vans all on their lawn and in their grass, yeah, they're offended. You're hollering and screaming with bullhorns, yelling and fussing. Yeah, they're offended because that's not what they're paying rent and a mortgage for. And that's what some of you don't understand. If you're there to fight for a worthy cause, to get a message out, that is a whole different ballgame. But when you're disturbing the peace, blocking driveways, flagging people down, banging on people's doors, then you are a problem. You're not a legitimate news source asking information pertaining to a story, a disappearance, or a death. We have real professionals out here who do this for a living, and they deserve much respect for going to the pavement and trying to get us to story the best that they can. And as I've told you, any story, no matter who's talking about it, it is a version, and a version only. So if you're one of the people bothering Hawkins County Humane Society, leave those people alone. I'm going to play you content pertaining to the Hawkins County Humane Society. This is a 4-year-old video. It's in the queue. This is them letting the public know that they were overcrowded and didn't have sufficient space for the animals there. This is a 4-year-old content. Okay? To give you an idea of what these people have been going through in the Hawkins County Humane Society. I will then read you an article where they're trying to get more space for the current animals that they have. And this is from this year, a current article. So some of you who are not well equipped upstairs can see that you're causing these people undue stress and harm about absolutely nothing. And this is why we have to stop listening to gossip and rumors and taking it as factual and then run and start harassing people on gossip from a so-called YouTuber or plural YouTubers. And frankly, you need to start assessing the sources of the people you're following in behind and listening to. You can't just believe everything somebody says because it's on YouTube. Well, let me go off Humane Society because they're beating them up, they're doing this, they're not caring about the animals, when now they've let you know we are not a part of animal control. That is a separate entity. So stop harassing us. Call animal control. Don't call us. We take the animals in, clean them up, fix them up, get them medication to get them out to be adopted. They're so wrong. Animal control is to go out and get runaways, wandering animals. Now do you know the difference? Thank you. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Andrew 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during this live. As the Humane Society has said, we are not related to the Humane Society of the U.S. We are also not a county-run facility. We are a 501c3, not-for-profit. We are not animal control. Thank you for supporting us. This is Miss Deborah Brown's comment on the Facebook page. If you and the shelter weren't there, Hawkins County would have nothing. You can't stop ignorant or uninformed people. All you can do is control your reaction to them. Thank you for all you do with so little assistance. That is true. And that is something we all need to understand about dealing with people in general. Everything depends on your response to them, because you don't have control over what people do and what people say. Only you can control how you respond. One lady says, or a man says, I have been there many times and have never seen any of this. The people who volunteer their time here are awesome and do the best they can with what they receive. Here is a challenge for those harassing. Let's see you volunteer and do better. Exactly. So now you know that the people who are working there are not paid employees. For those that think they know what the hell's going on here in Tennessee and at that Humane Society. So now you realize that perhaps the people who are working, they're not even employees that get a full salary or hourly wage. So you have to know what you're doing when you're out here running your mouth and raising hell with people. Know everything before going full in to a situation and immersing yourself in something. And that has got to stop you people immersing yourselves in things that, one, don't concern you. Let's just keep it real. The case is about Summer Wells. She's missing. All this other stuff has nothing to do with her. And you all are putting yourselves and immersing yourselves and making things more violent and vocal, and it doesn't have anything to do with her disappearance. What do the dogs have to do with her? Nothing. That's her parents' job. She was a child, her brother's children. They don't have anything to do with the pets. The mother wants them to run around. The father, don't feed them. Okay, once again, I do believe the sheriff is aware of whatever's going on up there. And that's why I said, if they don't want to do anything, what else can somebody else do? That's a county situation. Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of information, background information on Hawkins County. This place that everybody's getting their underwear all tied up in a knot about. This is by WJHL. This was uploaded. No, I'm going to play that last. This is by Times News Online. The Hawkins County Humane Society shelter in Rogersville is way over capacity. Okay. This is 4 years ago. So you can get an idea of what these people have been dealing with.
And this one is mostly staying near their cats. They can walk around, chill out, and then the shy ones are the ones that been fixed are the ones in the cages.
What's your problem?
She's the talkative one.
You come home with me? What's she got around her neck there?
That's a little name tag.
Oh, where did she come from?
She was one of the strays. A lot of the cats are mostly strays that are dropped off at people's homes. So then they're brought in here because they're abandoned.
What's the story with your puppy here?
That is the puppy that was brought in. It was part of a rescue effort. So this puppy was abandoned. And she is around 10 weeks old, and she was abandoned with her sister, who we're still working to get. And so these guys were so scared, and they were hiding, trying to basically survive by themselves out there. And some volunteers were very kind enough to try to help us work with them to get this puppy and bring them in. We've had a huge increase in puppy, kitten abandonment.
Yeah.
It's been a huge increase in them. Like this baby here, too young to basically, it's getting the weather, predators, those are all things they really can't fight against. We have people show up and they say they've been abandoned, and we have to work to help rescue these animals because they're not able to protect themselves. And it's, instead of people just dropping them off, they could always just call here and bring them in. And it would prevent the large number of the animals just being left.
So people are like moving out and leaving them?
Yes. We've had one case with 4 hounds that are here. They're 6 months old, and they were just left because the tenants decided they were moving, and they just left them. And they left them in a large kennel, so they had no way to get out, no way to get food, no way to get water. And we had to work very hard with people, and it's not fair for the animals either. Our animal population for cats is around 100.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yes.
What's your capacity?
55.
So you're over
55.
capacity?
We're over capacity with cats and dogs because we're no kill.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why a lot of people think to leave animals out there. They think we're a kill shelter, so people think they have a better chance outside than they do at a shelter. When we keep them here until they have their forever homes. The dogs, I believe we're supposed to have 40-something. We're at 60 last time.
Yeah. And how many of those are puppies and kittens?
So far, we're pretty good at adopting the puppies out. Kittens, we have more. This is the only puppy we have right now that has been left over from the abandonment other than the hounds. The hounds are around 6 months, 7 months.
You know, offering something special for adoption?
Yes. So this month, we ran a cat special, so that helped with the cats. We did a free adoption day previously, but we have a photographer who's coming in, and he takes all of our photos, and he's doing free photography sessions for anyone who adopts from us this entire month.
Okay, so you get a free professional portrait.
Yes.
Okay. With prints?
Yes, 30-minute session, minimum of 7 prints, I believe.
Okay.
And the photographer's great.
Okay.
And then we were planning on doing another adoption special too on dogs, discounted adoptions, but we're still working on that.
Why do you think you're having this, all of a sudden you're having this influx of critters?
Well, every spring we have kitten season and puppy season and pregnancy, and just because lack of spay and neuter.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things. Animals, just an overpopulation, and they always get brought in or abandoned or something like that. So this time of year, especially with pregnancy, it's a boost in that overpopulation, and that leads to the abandonment.
Okay. And irresponsible owners?
Yeah, it's a mixture of that too.
Okay, everybody. That's Hawkins County. Well, let me see if that's the same thing. Let's see. Hawkins County Humane Shelter in Rogersville's Way. Yes, it's the same thing because it says Hawkins County Humane Society Shelter in Rogersville is way over capacity for both dogs and cats. This is what it reads in the bio. The Hawkins County Humane Society Shelter in Rogersville is way over capacity for both dogs and cats, which is why they're offering free portraits donated by a professional photographer every adoption in April in hopes of reducing their populations. This was uploaded April 18, 2018. This was 4 years ago. So it is the same agency. So I don't have to Google search that. So therefore, I played you that video so you can get an understanding of what their job entails. People working for free, people, a man coming in to take portraits of people adopting the animals at that time, 4 years ago in April, to show the good works and good deeds of the community adopting the animals. So that's also means somebody is taking pictures for free, time out of their day with their camera, and also having to pay for the film, develop the film. See, people, you all don't think about things like that. These are the things you don't think about when you think you know everything that's going on. Now, this is a 4-year-old video, but the information is relevant today. They only had room to house 55 cats, dogs. At this time of this video, they were over 100-something animals. So they're telling the public, don't throw your animals out because they are a no-kill shelter. Now, we can only hope and pray that that is true because, as she said, some people feel the need to throw them out because they think we're going to kill the animals. And they figure maybe the animals will have a better chance of surviving on their own. But we know anything can happen to an animal just roaming around. They can get hit by a car. Somebody could hurt them deliberately, some spiteful individual. But nonetheless, every entity has a job. The people inside have a job to do, whether they get paid or don't get paid. Okay? So this means this is not county run. So it's not a profitable organization. So when you're running, hooping and hollering, exactly, they're running off of donations from other parties to keep the business afloat. And as I said, harassing these people who are just there to help the animals, how are you helping the situation that you allegedly think you're helping? And as someone in the comment section said on the Facebook page, why don't you go volunteer since you're so disgusted at what's going on with the Robertsville Humane Society, Hawkins County? Because they are not affiliated with picking up the animals. That is a separate entity. So obviously you need to call the Sheriff's Department instead of the Humane Society, which are also not affiliated with the U.S. Humane Society. So you all need to stop this because this is what I'm saying going on pertaining to the Summer Wells case. You people are just picking anything and everybody to harass about anything pertaining to the story. Anybody that jumps out of a clown car, you're now in their face, their inbox. Question. Innuendo, just anything. You don't even care who you're talking to or about. Now you're picking on the humane people who don't have a dog in the race and are not affiliated with picking up the animals. Story number 2 is pertaining to Boy H. Information in the queue is that he's returned home. Let me start by saying, once again, we don't have any verification of what happened June 15th pertaining to Boy H. My main concern is his livelihood and his mental state with whatever he saw participated in on June 15th. There's no verification that he was involved in anything felonious pertaining to the child. Anything felonious with the bio mother of the child, which is Candace Bly. Only we know she gave him alcohol products and smoking products, which is she knows is against the law and wrong, and she has not been able to stand account on those said things she did with him. Why, I don't know. But he's returned home, allegedly. Is this a good fit for him to be back at that house with the grandmother and mother? It has also been said, allegedly, he spoke to the neighbors next door who were the same people arguing with his mother on a live off of somebody's network. Where I had the problem with that is, why would you be airing a live where they're arguing? That to me is ignorant. And you're obviously getting a kick out of that to air it, but you're supposed to be a good Samaritan. 2, did he even know that these people had an argument with his mother before he was released into her care? And as I said to somebody in the comment section, how you think he's going to feel, which I'm sure he knows now, that these people were arguing with his mother and he was standing there talking to him? I'm sure the mother told him thereafter what happened, allegedly, between the two. See, I already knew it was somebody next door that was running to a YouTuber talking about he said, she said, what was going on next door, because you'd have to live next door to know what was going on in her house unless you were friends with them or a relative. And now this child has been released to this woman's custody, the mother, I'm assuming, or the grandmother. And now he's back in the fold of new nonsense. And his bio parents stay on the horn, the YT horn, with filthy mouths. And now that child is back in that household. I don't think he needs to be there. That's my personal opinion, my personal assertion pertaining to boy H. It's that being in that house is the last place he needs to be. He needs to be in another environment, a stable environment. He needs to be in an environment with a mother and a father unit. People who are mentally stable, physically stable, to rear him until he can get out on his own and do something with himself. Sorry about the background noise. There's work being done. He needs to be in a stable environment. He needs to be in an environment where people can have self-control over their tongue and their actions when things are not going the way they want and or anticipate. And that's just a sad information. I actually feel sorry for him as a child. I feel sorry for any other children that's raised in that household with Allie, just like I would the Wells, because it's just a sick situation of children not having any options. And that's the thing about being a child, as I have said, is that children don't have options to just go leave their house and go get a better life. You know, imagine children just saying, well, the hell with it. I can't have the life I want. I'm getting ready to go try to find me a better life. Well, we already know, how that would work out. You would have a bunch of children running around the streets trying to be adults. How would that work out? You know, this is just a sad situation. This is a very, very sad situation, because we go from hearing that a child went missing, seeing the behavior of her bio donors, seeing other participants come forward stating they knew the parents, knew of the children, boy children being removed from the care, and then everything else that ensued, which is a bunch of people jumping out of clown cars, giving their testimony pertaining to knowing the bio donors. Now we have a bio donor locked up and one parent left with no children. Children not being returned to the Wells. Girl child still missing. Friend of the family, which is boy H, in juvenile facility and now released home. Hello, Joel. But it's sad that he's had run-ins with the law. I believe also his sisters had troubles running away. So you have to ask yourself what was going on in the household for these children to become wayward. Because these children had wayward tendencies before Summer Wells went missing. And these are two separate households that don't have anything to do with one another. So what was going on in the household for boy H to be acting out, doing whatever he's allegedly was accused of, with something dealing with a child, taking a child out of a car, blah, blah, blah. What was going on with his sister to be running away? We got that information down the road pertaining to the her mother, Facebook post, blah, blah, blah. What is going on? So when I look back at that, a sister running away, him catching some charge about a woman and a baby in a car, that shows me there's something going on in a household where you have two separate children acting out. What is the problem in this household? Are the children getting enough individual attention so they would not be going out here acting out, running away, getting in trouble with the law? Because you see, this starts a problem once they become an adult. You keep getting in trouble as a child, more than likely you will have the propensity to act out as an adult. Why would you not? If nobody's told you, hey, this is wrong, hey, that is wrong, then you will go out here into the street and get yourself wrapped up in something else. And as I've always told you, which I think most of you know who are adults watching this channel, that once you become an adult, people expect you to act as an adult, behave as an adult. And they don't care about what happened to you at 10, 12, 15 years of age. They want you to act like you're grown. And that's what people need to understand about childhood versus adulthood. People feel sorry for you as a child because you don't have any control over what's going on. But once you become an adult, I don't have to care about how your mom and dad treated you. Your grandma, whomever, foster care, juvenile facilities. I'm expecting you to act as an adult. And some people as an adult will coddle you once you become an adult because you had a tainted life. But everybody is not going to treat you that way because it's not their responsibility to worry about what the hell went on with you as a child, which is leading you to be a wayward adult. These children obviously are not getting what they need at that house with Allie, the grandmother. Now, could it be that the children were just wayward? Could be. I don't know them, so I can't say. But I am worried about Boy H. I'm concerned about the welfare of this child because in the end, he is a child. Until I get proof that he has done something truly heinous and has willing to know better, then I can give an opinion pertaining to that. But so far, I don't know of anything just jumps out at me to say, yeah, he's just an evil kid. Because that's the whole point. We all were children and have done things we had no business doing. But do we need stones thrown at us as children? Because how can we become better adults if nobody puts faith in us to say, I think you can do better. I think you can be better than what you've been exhibiting. And we already know that a lot of behavior from children that is negative, felonious, is a direct product of how they are being raised. So, is this a good fit? Boy H being back home. Will he be able to be productive, go out here, get a job, do well as a teenager, and then go into adulthood? I pray that he can, and I have hope and faith that he will do well. Same for the sister. I do not know if there are other children in that household because I don't focus on what goes on with Allie and Kingsport. It's just not my bag. But I pray that he will do well. I pray that he will be able to venture into society and do well. He and his sister or any other children that derive out of that household. But what I would say to Allie and the boy, the father, you all need to stop talking on social media, such as Candace Bly. You need to focus on your children. The time you have been spending spewing all this crazy nonsense and rhetoric on social media, that is a time that you could have been bettering yourself and looking out for your children, looking out for your mother. Hello, May. How you doing, sweetie? See, that's what's wrong with a lot of people. You all don't know where to focus your time. You're focusing your time on a bunch of buffoonery day in and out. You don't even take a day off. You don't take a day off listening to this garbage. You don't take a day off commenting, and they don't take a day off giving you something to comment and talk about. So it's just a vicious cycle of buffoonery. A bunch of hillbillies that sit around all damn day drinking Mountain Dew with belly shirts up to their necks, chewing tobacco, snuff, and all that. Man, grow up. Just grow up. The world can be filled with beauty, wonderful things to do, engage in. These people don't care about that. This group here don't care about smelling the flowers, going to the picture show, going to the opera, going to the Met, going to a musical, going to a concert. Do you see where I'm going with this? They are those people who don't care. Okay, Gigi. They're the type of people who don't care about anything but their own selfish, self-serving needs at that time. And when you comment and listen to that garbage, you're help feeding sick people. So that is that. And it's very sickening. And as I've told you, my concern is for the children only. I don't care to engage in worrying about an adult because an adult should know better and want to try to do better. And especially if he or she is a parent or a guardian of a child, they should want to try to do better because they're rearing a child or somebody else's child. So I had heard that he was in the care of the grandmother and she had sole custody of the children. If indeed that is true, was the grandmother the appropriate person that should have been raising them? Do you understand what I'm saying? If the grandmother was the sole beneficiary of the children, one, you have to ask yourselves, what was the grandmother doing raising the children? Why did she have custody of the children? What happened with Allie and that father up in New York for the grandmother to have custody of the children. Then that leads me to believe that, Allie, you were not fit as a parent, because why would she have custody of your children if indeed that allegation is true? So that's what I would need a receipt on. Is the grandmother the sole custodian of the children? How many children are we talking about that lives in a household? And what is going to become of these children today and thereafter? Will they have the tools to succeed in life, go out in life and go get a trade, college, sufficient job to sustain themselves? Or will this be a vicious cycle of children now living with their grandmother as misfits as adults alongside their adult mother? And I'm going to say this to Allie. Why do you not have your own place to house yourself and your said children? I find that odd. That you work, everyone wants to toot their horn for you, that you hold down a job at Walmart or wherever. So then if you work, then why do you not have a place for your children? Why? Why do you not have a viable place to live? 2, do you not own an automobile? Because your children need to be able to go somewhere and do things. You need to be able to go out, have fun, enjoy your life, take care of business, go to the doctor. So how are you all getting around? See, these are the things that people don't focus on. You all are listening to all that other BS. People standing outside doing interviews, which to me is just a waste of time, rehashing the same information over and over and over, 9-10 months in, uploading content that you did back in November, December. What is the point to all of that? Because I'm not gaining anything from it. Just a bunch of he said, she said about a bunch of misfits that we already know are misfits. Pertaining to Candace, dog, cat, monkey, goat. Give me something tangible now and new that can lead to finding the child. I'm tired of hearing about the mama. We know she's a misfit. We know she drinks. We know she's been under the influence of drugs. She and Mr. Wells. That's old news. It's all sickening. But what are you all doing for Boy H now that he's back, allegedly? What are you doing for him? What are you doing to help him become a better person? Are you all a good fit for him? Because when you look at the fact that he's been in the juvenile facility sometime shortly after this June 15th incident, because I do not know how long he was gone, what I have to ask myself is, why was he in the facility in the first place? What made the courts decide that that was the best fit for him? Why did he stay in these facilities? What put him there? Did somebody fight to get him out? How long was he gone? And what are his plans now? It is now approaching summer, so we would hope that he finds him a summer job. And a summer job is definitely what he needs to give him structure. And he can make his own money, because every child needs his or her own spending money, because he is now an older teenager. So he would need money to buy things such as clothes, shoes, video games, whatever he indulges his time in. He also needs proper adult rearing. So I'm going to ask the grandmother and Allie, are you the appropriate people to rear Boy H? Because if not, please pass the baton on to somebody who can do a better job. Because your mouths are filthy, you're nasty, you look very nasty. And I hate to say that because you are his mother and father, but you all don't look well kept to me. And some people don't think appearances matter, but they do matter. Because your appearances show your children what you think of yourself. See, that's what you all don't seem to understand about rearing children. Every little thing you do, they watch. They're little sponges from the time they come out of the womb till 18. They're sponges. They soak up everything. That's why children talk like they're adults at 3 years old, because they've been sitting around grown people talking, laughing, joking, cussing, and fussing. So they pick up cuss words. They mimic your behavior. They know the latest dance song, the latest rap song, because they're in the company of people who are playing and listening to the music, fussing, cussing, cigarette smoking, chain smoking, reefer toting, whatever you want to call it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because that's the worst thing you can ever hear is a toddler dropping it like it's hot to the ground, talking about passing a blunt, a child knowing what's in the liquor bottle. That's not good. It's not cute, and that's not good. Because those are conversations that children shouldn't even be engaging in at any age. A 3-year-old shouldn't know about whiskey in a bottle, a plastic container. A 15-year-old shouldn't be knowing. Oh, yeah, my mom, dad gets drunk all the time. That's nothing new. That's not coffee table talk. Yes, it is very sad. And that's what some of you don't seem to understand, that this is not a joke. You're laughing at these hillbillies, at their lives, and people putting them on panels and stuff. But in the end, you fail to realize one small little thing about these misfits. They are somebody's parents. They laid down, had sex, and birthed a child, provided semen to produce a whole baby. That's what you all don't seem to understand. Is that now these are little people walking the earth, sucking up all this information from the world, their parents, outside influences, TV, social media. And these little things that happen in their lives forms their identities, such as whatever happened to us as children, help form our identities, help form our insecurities, devices. You come from a drinker, you'll probably be a drinker. You came from a smoker, you'll probably smoke. You came from somebody heavy weight, you'll be a heavyweight. You came from somebody that starved to death, didn't want to eat, you probably won't eat. Do you understand what I'm saying? You pick up these ways from the people that bring you here. And not all the times will you mimic what you were subjected to, but it does have a lot to do with how you act, how you talk, how you carry yourself. You came from people that raise hell, you'll probably be a hell raiser. It's just the way it is. These children need proper guidance. Dee behave. But I pray for him. I pray for his sister. I pray for any other children, because I do not know how many children Allie has in her custody or the grandmother's custody. But my concern is for boy H, because he has been put into this dire situation pertaining to Summer Wells. A lot of innuendos, speculations, rumors passed about him, his relationship with Candace, his relationship with the child, the very reason he was there, what was the main reason he was there. Just a lot of nonsense that we don't have any verification or receipt to. And one thing I don't like to do is accuse a child of doing something that I don't have a receipt that a child did anything. And if they're being reared by an adult, then the adult is the responsible party and should be fully blamed for introducing a child to any type of felonious, frivolous, nefarious business. And I think you know what I'm talking about. We don't have to go there. But that was my main concern, is the child. That is my main concern, is boy H and any other children. And this is a 2-part live pertaining to the Humane Society, their statement to the general public via Facebook, and also where is boy H, how is he doing, if he is home, is he in the appropriate care of these people? Should he be in the care of his grandmother and mother? Because as of late, the past month or two, these nimwits have decided to go to social media to spew out whatever issues they have with the world, needing monies and cash apps and whatever. That is not the appropriate type of behavior for a child, because now you're going to teach your children to go out here and just beg for everything and not work and earn anything. So basically what you're trying to teach your child is to do what? Be a hustler or a grifter, and or both. Okay? That's what's sickening. The child has already seen and heard enough. As somebody said, imagine what we don't know about the Wells. Exactly. Same thing with Allie, that father in New York. Imagine what you don't know. Imagine what you haven't seen or heard. Because naturally, you don't know everything about a person. You don't know everything that they've done, said, who they've engaged in interaction with, entanglements. So imagine what the walls could tell you if the walls could talk, if the floorboards could talk. We all probably pass out in our damn eyelashes and eyebrows will burn off. That's the point. If you're already seeing foul behavior on a live, imagine what you ain't seen. Have not, excuse me. And the children were in the household with all these foul machines, sucking up the energy, negative rhetoric, negative behavior, foul behavior, tongue, reactions, all of that. And now they have to go out in the world and try to behave as if they are being reared properly. Yes, exactly. Makes a person shudder. And Newbin, exactly. Who does Boy H have as a positive role model in his life? So that's the same question that could be asked for the Wells children. Who was positive around them? You see, the thing that people don't understand about children is that it's not enough to go to church and be around positive people at the church allegedly. Go to the schoolhouse and see positive things at the schoolhouse. Go over here to Pookie Ray Ray's house and they've got a great mom, great dad. That's not enough for a child. A child needs 24/7 on-hand care around the clock. You see, that's what you don't understand. For those of you who live in La La Land, a child living in a house where there's disruption, chaos, leaves his house or her house to go spend time at a friend's house, church, where the people are nice looking, they smell good, they're happy-go-lucky, they're patting you on the head and shoulder, asking you how you feel, talking nice, whether it's a facade or not, it's just principle. That good feeling they get. Same thing with us as adults. That good feeling you get when you're in the company of people that are talking and acting nice. You feel good. They make you feel good. Well, now imagine you leave that for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long you're in this other place. And then you go back to Hillbilly Alley where people are smoking and snuffing and toting marijuana and laced with drugs, fentanyl, crack, whatever. And they're falling down drunk. They're walking around the house half naked, talking and doing just nasty talk, nasty ways. House ain't clean, no clean sheets, no pretty curtains on the windows, no nice comforters on the bed, no running stove, refrigerator, central heat and air. You see where I'm going? Imagine that. So some of you have probably had that life before. You were raised in a chaotic household. You were raised in a house where you may have had clean sheets, running water, but your parents didn't like you. Your parents didn't treat you well. Your parents had favorites. It's still the same. It's negative. So now imagine, negative environment, waking up. You can't wait to get the hell out of there, go to school, see something better. You dread going home. You dread going home. You dread waking up there, eating there, sleeping there. You hate to hear the people even conversate. You hate to see their faces. You hate to smell them, smell the house. You hate to see the driveway, the mailbox. Are you all understanding what I'm saying to you? That is the worst feeling in the world. And you don't have to be a child to understand what I'm saying. The worst feeling in the world is not to feel comfortable where you slumber. You don't feel love where you sleep. You don't like where you sleep. You don't like the people in the house where you sleep. And then you go out into the world and you see what looks better to you, sounds better to you, smells better to you. That is a horrible feeling. And I know some of you have been there. And some of us feel that way as adults. You maybe don't have the life you want. You don't have the nice car, the nice home. You live somewhere that you don't like. And then you go to somebody's house that's nice, nicer. The lawn is manicured. It smells good on the inside of their house. They have nice furniture. They got food in refrigerator, deep freezer, basement, garage. 2.5 cars, 2.5 kids, 2.5 dogs. Everybody is pretty. Everybody is pretty. They smell nice. They look nice. The house is nice. Everything is neat in its place. No clutter, no junk, no hoarding, no boo-boo, pee-pee on the floor from dogs, animals, humans. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Everything looks pretty. Now imagine it's time to leave that pretty place where everybody looks pretty, sounds pretty. And you got to go back to your place where it stinks. The people stink. They talk stupid, act stupid. People are arguing, fussing. Bills aren't getting paid. You probably don't got running water, sewer system, central heating, air, no air conditioning, fans running around, no proper food, no vegetables to eat, no good cooked meals, no sheets on the bed, no comforters, no change of clothes. Are you understanding what I'm saying? That is the worst feeling in the world. It's to feel alienated from other human beings. To feel that you don't belong. You don't exist. You're breathing, but that's all you're doing. You see, many adults feel that way. It's only worse when you're a child because you didn't ask to be here. You didn't choose your parents. So Boy H didn't choose his parents. The Wells children didn't choose their parents. None of us chose our parents. We didn't choose how they raised us, how they talked to us, how they treated us, what they subjected us to. That's not our fault. It's not our problem. But the sad part of the story is when you leave these people's homes and become an adult, you possibly carry that wayward SHIT out of their house and into the world. And possibly you're tainted from whatever you were subjected to as a child. And now you're in a world with other adults who don't give a damn about you, don't care about what happened to you at the age of 5, 4, 3, 2, 15. They want you to act accordingly. That's expected. And it's nothing more worse than being a child and not feel, yes, comfortable, loved. And then go out in the world and you can't give it back to the world because you weren't taught anything. Or you were taught and somehow it didn't register with you and you go out here and become a lonely, bitter vessel on your own. You see, the table can be turned many ways. You can grow up in a great family or what is perceived to be a great family, but you have something inside of you internally that is off. You are numb. You're a lonely vessel just floating around. You don't know how to talk to people. You don't know how to deal with people. You're empty. And I've seen this recently. How childhood can form a grown-up to become empty, hateful, vengeful, spiteful, don't care about nothing. Don't give a damn if you were on fire. They will stand there and watch you burn. You see, that is what's wrong with the world right now, is that childhood has hurt people, as Dr. Phil would say, hurt people hurt people. So then they go and become adults and they cannot turn it off. The hatefulness, spitefulness, the loneliness, the insecurities. And now they're walking around hurting other people because they were hurt by somebody, or plural, and now they are adults and they don't know how to interact with you They are sociopaths, psychopaths. They don't know how to talk to you, engage with you, love you, because they never got it as a child, or they chose not to be receptive to that good behavior. You see, we didn't ask to be here. We didn't ask to come here. We didn't choose our parents. We didn't choose our environment. We didn't choose who raised us. We didn't choose how our parents treated us. We didn't choose how they act, how they carry themselves. It's not our fault. But when we become adults, we're on our own, and we are then judged accordingly. And that's where the problem comes in. So I would pray for Boy H, other children in that house, praying for the Wells children. They will be productive citizens as young people and then into adulthood, that God will guide them and give them the right tools and people to rear them so they can become successful adults. Because this does not have to be a bad story for Boy H because of Summer Wells. He can be somebody interesting, intriguing, special. But he's got to have initiative. He's got to have drive. He's got to have somebody pushing him to say, hey, give it your 100%. You are worthy. You are right. Then he can carry that out as a man. Thank you, man. And he can be a great guy. He can also eventually become a great partner for a woman and also a father to children. See, that's what people don't understand. It's called drive. They pushed me to be better. I didn't have no other choice. And I've heard a lot of men say that. Some women too. They pushed it in me. I didn't have no other choice but to do right, be better, be the best. Because somebody loved me enough to say, you're going to go all the way. You're going to go get a job. You're going to go to the Army. You're going to go to the Navy. You're going to go to school. You're going to go to college. You're going to get a trade. You're going to be the best you can be. Whether you're an engineer, doctor, lawyer, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, you'll be the best damn janitor. Have pride in yourself. Hold your head up high. Do not swing your head low because you are worthy. Because first, you're a child of God before you're anything. See, that's what children need, is a push. Somebody to say, I believe in you. I know you got something in you. And we're going to drag it out of you one way or the other. You are going to succeed no matter what. I don't give a damn about what they saying about you. Thank you, newbie. I don't give a damn about your insecurities. I don't care what they're saying about you in the schoolhouse. I don't care about what the teacher said. I don't care nothing about what the neighbor said. I don't care because that little girl don't like you. Peter Paul don't like you. I like you. I like you. And you're going to be all right. You're going to be the best that you can be at everything you do. And whether you make it over here, over there, you're worthy. You see, somebody grown needs to hear this. I myself need to hear it. You are worthy so long as you have breath in you. Whether you're 50, you're 12, a newborn, or you're 80, you're worthy. But you have to show other people that you're worthy, that you believe in yourself, that you're better. You deserve better. You're going to give your best. You're going to give your all, and you demand it from others. That's what needs to happen with these children. They need push so they can then have drive to excel and be excellent. So that's why you don't hear me talking negative about Boy H, Summer, or her brothers. Because one, I don't know none of these children. And I ain't going to knock no child because I was once a child. And I didn't like somebody knocking me. Just like I don't want you knocking me as an adult. Why the hell would I go knock somebody else's child when I don't even know their children? You don't do that. You uplift children. for the very reason you were once a child. And you don't know what Boy H has gone through. You don't know what the Wells children have gone through. You don't know what somebody else's child has gone through. So you uplift the child to the best of your ability. And if they have fallen, you think positive until you know otherwise that they can't be helped. But don't knock a child until you know the plight of the child. That's my version today pertaining to Boy H. I pray nothing felonious happened on June 15, 2021 between Candace Bly, Boy H, and Summer Wells. I pray he did nothing to the child. I pray he's not even carrying a secret to what happened to the child. As I told you in a live about 2 weeks ago, perhaps Boy H is just haunted because he liked the little girl. He was with her last, and then she went missing. So you're never going to really know the truth until somebody tells the whole truth of June 15th. But I'm not going to blame him for anything unless I have a receipt. And as I said, it just could be he's haunted because the little girl is missing. And he was with her. I think that would haunt a lot of people. That you saw a person, you spent time with a person, and then hours later they have been reported missing. And months later, they still have not been found. Who is to say how that would affect you? And you are grown. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't say because you haven't dealt with that. So imagine a child just hung with a child, and now the child is missing. You can't say how he or she would and should react because you're not in his or her shoes. Doesn't mean that they participated in anything unlawful with the child or the mother or father. It could just be the child is mourning the child and thinking possibly the worst, that the child is missing and they were last with the child. If indeed there's information to say otherwise of June 15th and H's role with Summer Wells, then we will wait till that information has been revealed. But until then, I will not knock the child, and I would hope that you will not do the same. You are entitled to your opinions pertaining to June 15th. Who all you think is involved in the disappearance of the said girl child, but you don't have a receipt to nothing. Just innuendo, speculations, and bad behavior of the bio machines and the side pieces involved. That's all you have. Bad friendships, bad courtships, toxicity, drugs, alcohol abuse, mental issues, allegations of sexual assault. That's really all you have. That's all you have. Prayers for Boy H. Prayers for his sister. Prayers for Summer Wells. Prayers for her brothers. Prayers for our sweet babies, Cal City. Prayers for any missing child. Prayers for those who have been sadly found deceased and or murdered by the hands of their bio machines and or relatives and strangers. Prayers that people will act accordingly and treat people better. Prayers for those who have children and don't know how to rear their children properly or to the best of their ability. Prayers for the children who are in dire situations, unhappy at home with their parents and caretakers. Prayers that they will make it through, because I will tell you, as somebody who's been a child, that is the worst feeling in the world, is to wake up in a house that you do not want to be in. You don't feel comfortable. You don't feel loved. I don't wish it on myself. I didn't wish it on other children, but you don't have no other options but to deal with it. And that's the scary thing about being a child. It's the unknown. That's why some of you need to think before speaking about a child in ill words. Because you don't know a child's plight unless you've been in his or her shoes. Everybody didn't have a good childhood. Everybody didn't have loving parents and caretakers. Everybody didn't grow up to become better adults. They mimic the toxicity from childhood, and now they're rank adults. And it is not to make excuses for these adults, but they borrowed from what they saw, experienced, and they took it into adulthood, and now they're foul. And I think that is what we have with these parents. They didn't have the best upbringing, and that's why we're talking about them. And they're acting like buffoons because they are their children. Candace, Allie, all of them. They are their children. But now they're adults who need rearing, sadly. But that's not our job, because they are now grown and they need to grow up and take responsibility for their children, stand account for how they're treating their children and what they're subjecting their children to. And also they need to take accountability for themselves as adults. It's not our job to raise adults. It is not our job to school adults and tell them how they should act and behave. We can only pray for you. But we cannot aid you and enable you to be worse human beings. We cannot enable you to continue to mistreat your children. You are going to have to grow up and stand account for your ways and how you walk amongst this earth, how you treat grown people, and how you treat your damn babies. It's not our job to coddle you, and you are grown. That's my message today. If you could be of any assistance to a wayward child, please be a positive influence. If you know that the child is being abused in any form or fashion, call the police. Bypass the DHS worker. Okay? Just call the police. If you, in fact, have children and you don't feel like you're doing your best, apologize to your child and then go seek professional help to try to get on the right track to do better. If you feel still at some point you cannot do the job, then pass the baton on to somebody else who can rear your child, and pray that they will do right by your babies, and rear your children. But we know that there is a toss-up. Once the child is out of your care, that he or she may not get nothing better than what you gave to him or her or them. But that's all we have in life is prayer. Don't knock the child. We have enough negativity in the world. Don't knock the children. Because this is the reason we have vile adults. It's because nobody believed in a child. Nobody showed a child favor. People knocked the child around physically, mentally, verbally, and then they end up becoming vile adults because they become numb. And we do not want that for Boy H. We do not want that for the Wells children. You got to have hope. They have to have hope. How are they to sustain if they don't have hope? Thank you for joining me. God bless all of you. Hope you have a start of a great week. It is now the month of May. Prayers for the world, the children. Please keep prayers for missing Felicia Johnson, who was a San Diego native, ventured to Houston, Texas a couple weeks ago. She's now currently missing. I talked to her father this morning. He does not want to talk to any YouTubers because he does not like the rhetoric and gossip that is being spread about his child. As he said to me, no disrespect for what you do, but I don't want to talk to anybody on YouTube. And I told him I respect his decision. But she's currently missing. She went to apply for a job as a dancer at a strip club called Cover Girls. She has not been seen. There are allegations that she got in a car with a stranger from the club. I do not know if those allegations are true. That's just what was told to Mr. Kevin Johnson by workers from the club. What is the truth? Is there a cover-up, fabrication of video surveillance? Do these people know what happened? Are they responsible? Was she trafficked? Was it a date? What happened? I do not know, and I will not make any claims out of to respect Mr. Kevin Johnson and Miss Felicia. If you're hearing any rumors and nasty gossip about her, do not feed into the gossip and the rumors, because this is why he's angry right now. Because people are passing nasty gossip about his child. And this is why I said earlier in that live, I understand that. We as people are human. We make mistakes. We pass stuff thinking it's the truth, not the truth, or not thinking it's harmless. But as you see, it does affect the family when you say stuff that you do not know is true about the victim. And prayers for Miss Taylor Pomosky, who I also talked about in my last live, who remains have been confirmed Friday. They were discovered in December 21. It has now been confirmed by the coroners. She is now deceased. Her boyfriend, Mr. Kevin Ware, ex-NFL player, is the sole suspect in her disappearance and now death. And what will become of his involvement? Will he admit that he hurt, harmed her, buried her? I will wait on that said information. And when I get an update, I will bring you that. Please check the library for my video on that I just did a little while ago. And anything pertaining to Miss Johnson is also in my library queue. And when I get an update pertaining to her disappearance, I will bring you that said information. Thank you all in the chat, May, Nubian, Gigi. Thank you all for following the content. Joelle, God bless all of you. Stay safe. If you see something, say something. Mind the children. Pray for our children. Pray for all of us. Pray for us as better people, that we will do better. We will be more responsible. We will give better responses, reactions to drama, chaos. Because in the end, like they say, your reaction is what? It's the sole answer to the situation. It's how you respond. Thank you, Ms. Rickson. Sometimes we don't behave well. We don't respond well. But we're all a work in progress, hopefully. Once again, prayers for Boy H, Summer Wells, her brothers, any other children deriving out of the house with Boy H. Prayers for the Humane Society. They have spoken and given their rendition pertaining to being harassed. You now know the difference. They are not affiliated with the Humane Society of America, and nor are they the dog catcher. So please stop harassing them and sending them nasty emails, notes, and threatening them. If you have anything that you want to say, keep it pertaining to the Wells, not other entities. It is time for a lot of you, it's time for you all to grow up and know that you're doing more harm to a situation that is already dire, and you're just exacerbating a very sick storyline pertaining to a little girl missing out of Rogersville. And you don't have the right to do that. If you're not going to report or give any factual information pertaining to these people, this story, then you need to stop talking to these people. You need to stop harassing these people. You need to stop talking about the storyline, and you need to go find you something better to do. My suggestion for some of you, you need to go get a full-time job. You need to get a full-time job, or you need to go donate to a worthy cause where you can learn how to have empathy. Because right now, most of you are just self-serving. You don't care anything about this case, about the child. You don't care anything about the people that you've talked to. You definitely don't care about the people you're harassing. Because what's going to happen is you're going to end up at the end of the coin like these same people. And you're not going to like the fact that people are doing you the same way that you've been doing all these entities. Because I can tell you now, most of you couldn't hang if people started sitting outside your front yard, banging on your door, parking in your driveway, camping out on your front lawn or your apartment, condo, subdivision, whichsoever. I don't think you could hang. I think you'd be very disgusted. And I got a feeling that some of you are probably going to get back what you've put out here by harassing all these different people, stalking these people, following them around, doxing them, going in their inboxes and messengers and following their friends and associates. That is stalking behavior. It's uncouth and it's unethical. And frankly, it's trifling and it's creepy as hell. As it says in the scripture, no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. And that is the truth. Thank you all so much for joining me. Prayers for Boy H. God bless all of you. Have a nice week. I'll be back with more commentary. Any story that I do not talk about in my lives, I post it to my community board so you can get a glimpse of what is going on in America. Prayers for Houston, Texas. There's some trafficking going on in that city and general area. All ladies, beware of your company going along, meeting people, social media ads, meeting and greeting, date sites. Please be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the company that you keep. Be aware of the people you're dating, having relationships, entanglements with. You don't know people. And as my aunt once said, when the door is closed, all bets are off. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for the support. Thank you. This is Everyday Shenanigans.